And welcome to Iyun with Benzion, the new edition. We're going we're going to have a Daf Yomi share, which I do with Shmuel, my friend. And we're going to have Iyun with Benzion, which is an 8-minute Iyun inquiry into the Gemara on that Daf. We'll try to do that also. Daf Lamed Dali over here, 34. Mishnah says on the top of Lamed Dalam and Beis, Rabbi Shmuel Omer, Shosha Adasim Mishtei Aravos, Lulav Echad Ve'esrog Echad, Afilu Shnayim Ketumim Ve'echad Eino Katum. Like we know, you're supposed to have 2 Aravos, 3 Adasim, 1 Esrog, 1 Lulav. Rabbi Shmuel says something interesting, that 2 of them can have their Ketumim can be cut off on top. One has to be whole. Rabbi Tarfon Omer, Afilu Shloshtan Ketumim. Rabbi Tarfon says even all 3 of them are cut off at the top. The Gemara seems to pass like Rabbi Tarfon. And the Gemara seems to say, not only Rabbi Tarfon holds like this, but also Rabbi Shmuel, because the Gemara says Rabbi Shmuel, if he holds that a hadas needs to be whole, so then all 3 of them need to be whole. And if he holds katum is okay, so then even all 3 are katum. So the Gemara says, Hadr Bey Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel was choser bo, and he held that really even 3 ketumim is okay, even if 3 of them are cut off. And Rabbi Akiva argues on that and holds that you need 1 whole one. Now, who do we pass? Like, none of these people seem to hold like any of us, like what we do. We need 3 adasim, 2 aravos, 1 esrog, 1 lulav. And according to Rabbi Akiva, who says that you need a whole hadas, he only requires 1 hadas and 1 arava, not like we paskin. So we have to paskin like Rabbi Tarfon or like Rabbi Shmuel. And according to the way Rashi and all the Rishonim learn Rabbi Shmuel, he's learning the maskana. He agrees with Rabbi Tarfon that 3 ketumim, you need 3 hadasim. But if they're cut off at the top, they're okay. Problem is with this is that we know from the Mishnah. The Mishnah says on Lamed Beis Amud Beis 32b, hadas, it talks about a hadas, and it says nektam rosho nifritzu olav shiyanav merubas me'alav pasal. If the head of the hadas is chopped off, it's a pasal. It's a pasal hadas. So if it's pasal, this is all the Mefarshim ask. How could it be that we passing Larry Tarfon and like Rabbi Shmuel, the 3 ketumim are okay? It says here apostle. I'd like to answer like this: that the Gemara has a very strange brisa. The Gemara on Daf Lamed Gimel and Aleph, the Gemara says about 5 lines down, 6 lines down. Tanarabban Yavshu Rov Olav Nishru Bo Shlosha Badi Alin Lach in Kosher. Amar of Chistav Rosh Kol Echad Ve'echad. He says even if all of the leaves of the hadas dried up, but at least the top of every hadas had 3 braided leaves. A hadas, they have plaited leaves where they overlap each other and they come out in the same part of the stem. You can make a circle around it according to the Chazon Ish. So, if that's true, so you wouldn't have rov. We know the Shulchan Aruch paskins this, that you need rov of your alin to be ksher, your leaves to be kosher by a hadas. Here it says, as long as you have the top 3 leaves are plated, avos, so then the rest of the hadas, the rest of the shear of the hadas, we know a hadas has a specific shear. It has to be a certain amount of centimeters, let's say 3 tvachim, 10 centimeters I think it is, according to the Chazon Ish. So you're not going to have that shear. You're just going to have 1 kan that has 3 leaves. How are you yotze your mitzvah? The Mishnah says, and the Gemara on Lamed Beis on the bottom, the Gemara says, Tanur Rabban Nishru Rov Olav Nishtar Bo Miut Kosher, and the Gemara explains that you have to talk about an Asa Mitzrah, a hadas from Egypt that has 7 leaves, and you're left with 3, but at least you have 3 leaves. You have a complete avos in the majority of the leaf. And we paskin lechachila, you need the whole thing to be avos. And b'di'ever we paskin, the Shulchan Aruch paskins, that if rov is good, is good. But how could the Gemara say that if most of them are dried up and only the 3 top leaves are there, it's all kosher? I want to say like this, that apparently there's shtei dinim, like Brisker rov. Shtei dinim, like Chaim Brisker. Never said that. That the Mishnah on Daf Lamed Beis is talking about rosho, niktam rosho. If rosho is gone and the rest of the hadas is gone, then it's a problem. But if you have, like the Gemara says, on Lamed Gimel and Aleph, if you have the top 3 leaves are intact, the head that's already called hadar. It's called hadar. Even if the rest of it's missing, it's still called a good hadas. The Gemara on Lamed Dalid, we're saying the Maskana, according to Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Tarfon, that Afilu Shlosha Ketuvim is okay. That's talking about where the head is chopped off. But you have rove of the leaves left. So that's what the Gemara is saying. Either or, if you don't have rove, at least you need the three top leaves. If you don't have three top leaves, so then we would go back and we'd say you need a rove of the leaves. So the rest of the 10 centimeters, the rest of the 3 tvachim have to have rove of it has to be there, b'di'evet, to be kosher. Like achila, the Shulchan Aruch paskins, you need the whole thing to be avos. But b'di'evet, there's 2 b'di'evets. Either you have the top row of leaves, the rosh of the hadassim, have to be intact, plated. Or if the rosh is not, we paskin b'di'evet, it would be kosher as long as the rest of the gimel tfachim, the rest of the 10 centimeters, would have rov al, would have most of it plated, then it would be kosher.